From the Home Slice News Center, this is the Daily Slice for Wednesday, November 9th, 2022. I'm D-Ray Knight. This is what's going on. Yesterday was Election Day across South Dakota. Republican John Thune won re-election to the Senate, while Dusty Johnson won re-election to the House. Kristi Noem won a second term as governor. Monet Johnson won Secretary of State. Richard Satgast is your state auditor. Josh Hader, state treasurer. Initiated Measure 27, which would legalize recreational marijuana, fell 53 to 47%. Constitutional Amendment D, which will expand Medicaid, was approved by a large margin. The South Dakota Secretary of State's office says voter turnout was good for the midterm election. A federal jury has convicted a Blackhawk man of sex crimes. Amy Rose has the story.
A federal jury has convicted a Blackhawk man of 3 sex crimes following a sting operation during the 2021 Sturgis motorcycle rally. 40-year-old Stephen Fontenot Jr. was convicted of attempted sexual exploitation of a minor, attempted enticement of a minor using the internet, and attempted receipt of child pornography. According to a release from the South Dakota U.S. Attorney's Office, Fontenot had several sexually explicit chats and text messages with the person he thought was a 12-year-old girl. However, the person was an undercover agent. He faces up to life in prison when sentenced.
The Meade County Commission Tuesday passed the first reading of an ordinance dealing with shooting ranges. It's in reaction to a proposed shooting range north of Rapid City being proposed by the Game, Fish, and Parks Department that is opposed by several adjoining landowners. Opponents were able to fend off efforts by the SDGFP to obtain funding to begin building the shooting range earlier this year. Then organizers unearthed South Dakota codified law that says local governments may regulate shooting ranges to include any shooting range located on public or private land or operated by a private entity or by a public entity, and that includes law enforcement shooting ranges. Second reading of the ordinance that allows the commission to regulate shooting ranges will be held later this month. In national and international news, control of Congress hangs in the balance as Democrats have shown surprising strength, defeating Republicans in a series of competitive races. That defied early expectations that high inflation and President Joe Biden's low approval ratings would drag the party down. In the most heartening news for Democrats, John Fetterman flipped a Republican-controlled Senate seat in Pennsylvania. It's too early to call critical Senate seats in Wisconsin, Nevada, Georgia, and Arizona that could determine the majority. In the House, Democrats kept seats in districts from Virginia to Kansas to Rhode Island, while many districts in states like New York and California have not been called. President Biden is traveling to Egypt for the climate conference. Amy Rose has the details.
President Joe Biden is coming to international climate talks in Egypt with a message that historic American action to fight climate change won't shift into reverse, unlike what happened twice before when Democrats lost power. Current and former Biden top climate officials said the vast majority of the summer's incentive-laden $375 billion climate and health spending package, by far the biggest law passed by Congress to fight global warming, was crafted in such a way that will make it hard and unpalatable for future Republican Congress or presidents to reverse it. Outside experts agree, but say other parts of the Biden climate agenda can be stalled by a Republican Congress and courts.
American basketball star Brittany Griner's lawyers say she has been sent to a penal colony in Russia to serve out her sentence for drug possession. A Russian court rejected an appeal of her 9-year sentence last month. The 8-time All-Star center with the WNBA's Phoenix Mercury was convicted August 4th. Police said they found vape canisters containing cannabis oil in her luggage. Griner's arrest came at a time of heightened tensions between Moscow and Washington. The politically charged case could lead to a high-stakes prisoner exchange between Washington and Moscow. Your weather forecast from the Home Slice Weather Center. Winter weather advisory early today with freezing drizzle and a high of 27. Tonight, winter weather advisory with ice and snow. Accumulations up to 4 inches expected in Rapid City and a low of 16. And that was your Daily Slice for Wednesday, November 9th, 2022. The Daily Slice is a production of Home Slice Media Group, hosted by D-Ray Knight with Amy Rose. Executive producer Mark Houston. Engineered by Chris Jacquez. I'm D-Ray Knight. Have a great day.